And what's kind of blown my mind waking up this morning sleep deprived after this game is the number of people that are discounting this and saying that the only reason the Jets won and the only reason the Jets looked good was because the Patriots stink. Yes, the Patriots stink. They're a terrible football team. I don't care what they did in week 1. The Bengals were sleepwalking. I don't care what they did in week 2. Seattle's not that good either. This is a team that's going to be picking top 3 to 5 in the NFL draft again. How many games over the last 2 or 3 years have we seen the Jets play a terrible opponent and win only because they were less bad than the terrible opponent? That didn't happen on Thursday Night Football. What we saw was a you-know-what kicking, an offense that has a two-headed attack on the ground game with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, an offensive line that can protect their quarterback, a quarterback that can actually play quarterback, and a passing attack that has not yet reached its full potential with Garrett Wilson taking off like we know Garrett Wilson can do and still looked wildly efficient, and we don't even need to address the defense, which got back to its dominating ways. The Jets beat the Patriots, and this is an important game if you want to call it that for this reason, because they are finally a good football team with good players on both sides of the ball. And when they play bad opponents, they're not just going to beat them because they're not as bad. They're going to beat them because they're better, and that's exactly what we saw in prime time.
Connor Rogers, what about you?
I think it was. I mean, when you look at it, this team hasn't been taken seriously as a contender since 2010. And I understand there's been some highs after wins because, hey, when Sam Darnold had a good game, is he going to be the guy? Can he build off of this? When Zach Wilson had a good game, is he going to be the guy? Can he build off of this? But then usually the following week or 2 weeks after that, you were let down and you were asking yourself the same questions over and over again. Now this is about winning. It's not about player development at the quarterback position. It's not about baby steps. It's not about building something. So hopefully in 2 years or 3 years, you can be a contender. It's about showing that you're for real in this conference right now. And yeah, they lost to maybe the best team or one of the best teams in football week 1 on the road against San Francisco, which it's a preseason ramp up almost at that point. I'm not discrediting it. It was a bad Jets loss, but they took care of business against the Titans. Then they had that dominant win on their home opener against New England where we're not asking ourselves, is this guy the quarterback? Aaron Rodgers has been an MVP of this league how many times? They have an MVP caliber quarterback. They have a great offensive line. They have a lot of balance between the run and pass. And the defense is answering questions now despite dealing with a lot of injuries on a short week. No CJ Mosley, Jermaine Johnson's out for the year, and guys stepped up. So to me, yeah, this is the biggest win in recent memory because it's about what lies ahead. This offense should only get better. This defense is going to figure some things out. Maybe they could actually figure out how to get Hassan Reddick back here as well. And then I'll proudly call them one of the best teams in the AFC after a few more wins.
And Aaron Rodgers kind of... Sorry, I was going to say, and Aaron Rodgers pretty much said, winning has to be a consistency. We got to keep winning, keep winning. What were you saying, Connor?
And I think what actually would impress me most about that comment, Jeane, was not only that he said, look, it's not, we should expect winning, but when Rodgers came out and said the first step is expecting winning, the next step is to expecting to dominate, and I think that's the big thing. And I think what will make this game, the game for me that will make it be like, this is the big moment for the Jets, this is the great moment for the Jets, is if they end up taking down the Bills in a couple of weeks. Because that's the one, that's a premier opponent, that's a team you're going to be fighting for the divisional title with. If they can beat them, that will be the moment. For me, this just wasn't it, because I know the Patriots stink, but that doesn't discount what the Jets did.
Yeah, but that stadium was rocking last night, Connor, as you know. All right, let's move on to Aaron Rodgers, because he's been the key. Like you said, Jets fans, and we got to see what this Jets offense can do with an MVP quarterback. All right, he threw to 8 different receivers. The Jets did run the ball over 30 times for over 130 yards, but did last night's game show the Jets should run a pass-first style offense? Connor Rogers, start with you.
Yeah, I mean, it depends always on your opponent, right? You never want to play into their strengths. But the reality is the Jets' defense, their strength is built on coverage and rushing, not stopping the run all the time. So what happens if your offense plays fast out of the gate and scores early? You're forcing the opposition to go into a drop-back throw script, which isn't what the Patriots wanted to do. But since the Jets got points up early, the Patriots had Jacoby Brissett taking these drops, and the Jets rush feasted on him. They sacked Jacoby Brissett 5 times. They sacked Drake May twice. They were making plays all over the field, and Patriots could not establish any rhythm in the run game at all. So while you sit there and go, well, it depends on the matchup, sometimes it does. But yes, this team should go throw heavy if it gives them their best chance to score early, because that's setting up their own defense for success. And they have the horses to be a throw team. Mike Williams looks awesome already coming off the ACL. He's making some big catches. We know what Garrett Wilson can do. Alan Lazard is rejuvenated. That's the best I've ever seen from Tyler Conklin last night. And Conklin's a guy that gets involved when Rodgers' mobility gets involved because they drift to the sideline together. And then what more needs to be said about Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, not only in the run game, but their ability in the pass game as well. So the short answer is, yeah, the Jets should be an aggressive team on offense because that only allows their defense to be more aggressive, and that's when they're at their best.
And that too, Connor Rogers mentioned there about Tyler Conklin. I mean, as teams play the cover two, the Mel Kiper's vaunted cover two, and they start spreading that to worry about Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams on either side, all that's going to do is open up down the seam Conklin all day. I mean, that's going to be there literally every single week for the Jets. But can we just pause for like one quick second, guys, and realize what we're talking about here in 2024, that this is actually a conversation that we are having of should the Jets be a pass-first team or should the Jets be a run-first team? Do we realize the Jets can do both now? Like I don't want to forget, like Garrett Wilson laughed about this in the locker room, and truly it's a funny topic to think about how far this team has come. Rodgers, you've seen this, I've seen this. Since 2014, we used to cover games where the Jets couldn't do anything. They couldn't run the ball, they couldn't block, they couldn't throw, they couldn't do any of it. It was like, can they win in spite of their offense?
Right, that's right.
Yeah, can they win in spite of their offense? Can they just keep this to one possession and pray that something breaks their way? They can get a ball that bounces. Now suddenly, yeah, they can attack the team on the ground with their two-headed attack. They can attack the team on so many different levels in the passing game because they have guys down the seam like Conklin, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, who, again, we haven't even seen truly break out. Alan Lazard rejuvenated. We're going to start to see Xavier Gibson more as well. Jeremy Ruckert even got involved against the Patriots. The Jets are becoming a complete team, which I know is an alien concept for people to hear, and fans might like twitch a little bit when they start to think this is actually possible. But this is really the day and age we're living in with the Jets right now, where we're sitting on this show debating what should the Jets do to attack a defense. I want everyone to remember there was a time like 7 months ago where the Jets couldn't attack anybody, and now they have so many different ways they can do it.
They just need their quarterback. But we talked about Tyler Conklin. Can we just get him a touchdown, please? Please, just get this man
he's not allowed.
touchdown.
I joked with him in the locker room about that, actually. I went in, I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, dude, you know you're not allowed to score, right? And he goes, man, I really thought I was getting one tonight. So he was cracking up. But almost 100 yards, career high 93.